On Saturday, April 28, 1934, Miss Ethel Woody Peeples, a young mother from Chatsworth, Georgia, checked into a downtown hotel in Atlanta with her 4-month-old daughter, Lenny Faye. And what happened next would become front page news. But before I get into the story, if you're not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe down below because it will help me out a whole lot. I'm very close to 3,000 subscribers, so I would love to hit that pretty soon. And you'll never miss out on a new video, so make sure to subscribe down below. But with all that said, let's get into the story. On the morning of April 28, 1934, Ethel gave her baby a fatal dose of poison, and then took the poison for herself. Ethel and Lenny was then found later that morning by Susan Walker, a hotel maid whenever she was going to clean up the room. Susan then quickly called for help, and Ethel was rushed to Grady Hospital where the doctors fought to save her life. But for baby Lenny, she unfortunately passed away at the scene due to the poison that she was fed. In a note found in the room, Ethel expressed her final wishes. She wanted to be buried with her baby daughter, and she also mentioned her husband William Otis Peeples, who was in Mobile, Alabama at the time. The note hinted to the emotional turmoil that Ethel was going through. The note also said, "I love my husband and baby dearly, but I can't have them, so what's the use of living? And will you please bury my baby in my arms?" These heart-wrenching words gave us a glimpse into the state of mind of Ethel. At Grady Hospital, Ethel was in critical condition, and when asked why she did it, she said, "My baby is dead. What is there left for me?" Her throat and mouth were terribly burned by the poison, and she was in immense pain. As the days passed, Ethel's condition began to improve, and on May 2, 1934, she received a telegram from her estranged husband Otis expressing his hopes for a recovery, and this message gave Ethel a renewed will to live. By May 9th, Ethel was preparing for her upcoming trial. She expressed regret over her actions, stating that she did not want her daughter to endure the same hardships that she did during her own life. Ethel and Otis reconciled, and he stood by her side as she awaited trial. Despite her recovery, the legal battle was far from over. And on November 20th, 1934, the trial of Ethel Woody Peeples began in Fulton Superior Court. Previously sentenced to life in prison, Ethel was granted a new trial, and the outcome of this trial would determine her fate. And in July of 1937, Ethel Woody Peeples returned to Atlanta and checked into a downtown hotel. And tragically, she took poison once again and was found in her room, and this time, she did not survive. Ethel was later pronounced dead at the hospital 3 years after the tragic incident. This tragic tale of despair, love, and redemption serves as a reminder of the human condition and the depths of emotion that can lead to such heartbreaking decisions. But now I'm going to go visit the grave of Lenny Faye Peeples and Ethel Woody Peeples. Okay, I'm back at Mount Zion Cemetery to visit the grave of Lenny Mae Peeples, the daughter that was poisoned. Me and my dad was looking around the cemetery for probably close to 20 minutes. We just could not find her grave. And I swear that on Find a Grave, which is where I find a lot of the information I tell, as well as where they're buried at, I swear that Ethel, her mother, was also buried here. But whenever my dad was looking at it to see if we can find any more about where she was actually buried here, because a lot of times whenever you look at the grave photos, you can tell kind of the backdrop and the scenery around it, so you can kind of see wherever they're buried. But we've seen that she was not even buried here. And I swear to the day I die that it said Mount Zion Cemetery on her burial, but it's not. It says Harrison's Chapel Cemetery. So after I visit Lenny's grave and give my respects to her, we're gonna go over there to Harrison's Chapel and visit Ethel's grave. I swear that it said Mount Zion, but I guess not. But I'm here at Lenny's grave, so I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all. And here is the grave of Lenny Faye Peeples. Passed away in 1934. She was only 4 months old. May she rest in paradise. And buried right next to her is another Peeples. It's a little hard to see. That's an M. I believe it says Missouri M, wife of D.M. Peeples. Born August 6th, 1856, and then passed away January 7th, 1912. I will do some research over this whenever I get back, and then I'll do a little voiceover and tell who this is. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on the grave so I can do the voiceover about who this is. This is the grave of Martha Missouri Leonard Peeples. She was the daughter of Alexander J. Leonard and Emmeline Adeline Jackson. She was married to Drury Morgan Peeples on March 5th, 1876, in Murray County, Georgia, and they have 5 children together. I'm not exactly sure how she's related to Lenny or if they're related at all. She could just be a distant cousin, but I know she is not related by like siblings or spouses, anything like that. So I believe she could just be a cousin. All right, there we go. I told some information about them that show Lenny's grave off one more time. May she rest in paradise. But now I'm going to go visit the grave of Ethel. Okay, now I'm at Harrison Chapel Cemetery, and I'm going to go ahead and go visit Ethel's grave. It took us a second to find her, but she is buried right over here. And her gravestone is kind of similar to her daughter's, just a little bit bigger. And she is right here. Ethel Woody, 1910 to 1937. That was me all for today, guys. I hope you did enjoy that video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. Also, subscribe down below if you haven't already, because it's free and helps you a whole lot. So definitely do that if you haven't already. I hope you enjoyed the new way that I told this story. I definitely really enjoyed it, so I hope y'all did as well. Leave in the comments below what you thought of it, and if you want me to tell more stories in that format of me just sitting at my desk and telling it for you guys, because that's personally one of my favorite ways of doing stories. But I also love doing the voiceovers. And even telling the story right here in the cemeteries. It's all fun. I just love telling stories. So I really hope you guys enjoy the different ways I tell stories. Leave it in the comments below, or I can also do a community post, little poll, just saying what ways y'all like me telling stories, y'all's favorite way. Either like the voiceovers, the way I did it today, as well as telling them in the cemetery itself. But this is a nice, pretty little cemetery. It's a little bit newer. Gosh, the sun's in my eyes. It's a little bit newer that way over there. And then this right here is the older part. Well, it's not very, very old. There's a 1953 grave right there. But if y'all want me to come back to the cemetery and do a full walkthrough of it, I definitely can. Kind of looks like there's stones right over there in front of the woods. So it's kind of an mid to old cemetery. But if y'all want to see this cemetery, leave it in the comments below, and I'll come back and do a full walk around of it. But yeah, that's gonna be all for today, guys. I hope you did enjoy that. Well, all that said, I hope you have a great day. But this adventure is left in the past.